G'day everyone. Welcome to this edition of DURKO's Notebook for the 2024 British Grand Prix. Got a shitload of stuff I want to talk about, so pull up a pew, sit back, relax and enjoy the show. You wouldn't fucking read about it. F1's returned to one of its most iconic and much-loved circuits, Silverstone. And it's renowned for being a real driver circuit, and plus the fact it's steeped in so much history. None of the corners are really numbered, they're all named Beckett's, Club, Abbey, Bridge. And it is a real driver circuit, as I said, and the drivers certainly love coming there. And in a recent question I asked the group, I said, do you think Silverstone should ever be replaced? And it was a resounding no. It should always be on the calendar and remain there for many years to come. So following on from the success of the thin blue line track limits in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring, they have decided to bring it to Silverstone as well, and to see if they can test the drivers there on not pushing the track limits again. And it seemed to work, except when it was raining, of course, because it was typical British weather, and it was overcast and wet. So Gasly, he had a red flag incident during free practice when he sandbagged his car and parked the Alpine up, so he was out for that. And then Checo, of course, didn't do himself any favours, and he's not doing himself any favours over the course of the whole weekend when he binned his RB20 during Q1 and was forced to leave it because he couldn't retrieve the car himself. He later went on to change his power unit, started from the pit lane. So there's again more and more talk about driver market shit, and Checo's not doing himself any favours, as I said. He's had some pretty shit-house lacklustre performances, and I'm sure Helmut Marko's standing in the garage keeping an eye on him to say, have we made the right decision here? Now, of course, Woody, or George Russell, I should say, went on to take pole position in quali, and it went on from there to the race. Now, from the minute the five lights went out till the checkered flag, it was a great race because it was all about strategy, especially with the inclement weather coming in. And they thought it was going to piss down rain, but it didn't. It did make the track wet, but not as wet as they thought, so they never went to full wets, only to inters. And it was a real game of strategy of when are we going to bring our drivers in and do the change from slicks to inters to go back to slicks if the track's really starting to dry out. So it was just a really great race. The whole 52 laps, it was an exciting moment all the time, trying to work out who was going to come out in what position on what boots. Of course, the two clowns for the weekend have got to be Darren Stanley and Randeep Singh of McLaren. Now, these two fools managed to completely stuff up McLaren's strategy for the race. Why the hell they didn't bring in Piastri before Norris is beyond me. And I think Andrea Stella and Zach Brown are going to have a good hard look where they're going with their strategists in the team, because they just can't make a decision, can't make their mind up, can't come up with any sort of formula to bring the cars home. I mean, you could say Norris is partly to blame for his shit pit stop, but at the end of the day, I think something's got to change in McLaren. They've got a car that's got pace and it can win and it can race. But when it comes down to a bit of inclement weather coming in, a bit of a change on the circuit, be it a safety car or whatever may happen, McLaren just throw the book over their shoulder and say, right, let's start again. Where are we going to go with this? And it just doesn't work for them. So something's got to change with McLaren. They're two-thirds of the way there. They've just got to work out the strategy. The only saving grace for McLaren, I must say, is that Eric Boullier is not there. And if he comes back, they may as well just shut the team down. So, yeah, anyway, George Russell eventually retired. He had a issue with the water system in his car. And Lewis Hamilton then wanted to take his 104th win of his career. And it's been nearly 1,000 days since he's won a race, so it was a big emotional thing for him. And, of course, his last British Grand Prix with the Mercedes squad before he goes to the Scuderia. So, overall, I'm going to say it was a great race. Always enjoy watching Silverstone, and it never fails to deliver. So that's it. We'll be back in 2 weeks when we go to Hungaroring. I'll be certainly looking forward to that because I think it's always a great little circuit to watch the cars go around. And it's a challenging, tight little circuit. So until then, I say thanks for watching. Bye-bye.